Happy 4th of July, everybody. This is Bob Young coming to you from Redline Archaeology. A new collection has just arrived that I unearthed right outside our nation's capital in Arlington, Virginia. Really nice collection, one owner original, which is what I search out, childhood collection, and a lot of the cars were very lightly played with. And you could tell, obviously, in most of these collections, which ones that, the owner as a child just loved to run down the track more than others. Fortunately, there's a real gem in this collection from all the pictures and everything, and taking a look at it from every side, every angle. It's the nicest condition, one that I've come across in 30 years, but we'll get to that. So it's the first time I'm doing this, is opening a collection that has arrived here. But I figured, you'd enjoy it. It's exciting for me, always to find these original collections that really haven't seen the light of day for, some cases 50, 52 years at this point, that people dig out of storage or, making moves or having left to them from a relative that, just passed it on, and people really don't know what this stuff's worth, but you just be fair with them, and if everyone's happy with the deal, this is what comes out of it. So the case itself is in really beautiful condition. Usually when I find these cases, you'll have lots of tears in the plastic at the corners just from use, but this one is really stellar. The graphics are really bright. It's not faded anywhere. Nothing's broken. The snap seems to be in really good shape. A lot of times that's broken. But just a really nice condition case. It's nice to see them like this without them being all marked up. So this gentleman that I bought the collection off, asked for instructions on how to ship these cars. So I told him just tissue paper would be great. Keep them in the case and wrap them individually. As he did, followed instructions quite well. Even went the extra mile by wrapping tissue around the trays, all the individual trays that you can see here. So let's get started with, I think there's a total of 39 cars in this collection. First up is a beautiful paddy wagon, as you can see. Very common car, but I love all the red lines. So when you find them this clean, it really is nice. So there's a paddy wagon. So I don't know when the real gem is going to show up, but we'll just keep unpacking them. Okay. So here's a really nice Indy Eagle. A little fade on the base, but I love the Grand Prix in blue. So it's a real nice piece. Really pretty. Mighty Maverick does have some toning on the hood, which you do find a lot, but the rest of it's really nice and shiny. The wings intact, wheels are really nice. So a really nice condition Maverick. This one seems to be a Seasider that's missing the boat, from what I remember. Yep, looks like a toned out rose pink, as you can see from the bed. It's a little bit lighter than the rest of it, but nice shape. You add a boat to this, that's a really nice display piece. Next up, we got a green heavy Chevy with a white interior. Really nice shape, as you can see. Got the number 9 on it. So another nice condition car that wasn't played with very much. Up next, we've got a green Mod Quad. Cool car. Not much wear to it at all. Really nice. Great display piece. I guess this gentleman as a child loved green. It's one of his favorite colors. Here we go with a nice purple custom VW. Really deep, rich paint on it. It does have some nicks on it. Obviously he did run this one down the track a little bit, but everything's there. Really nice piece though. Not bad. Let's see what we got here. Got a nice Light My Firebird. It is missing the wheel and the hub on it, so I'll have to do a little finagling to get that back to shape if I am to keep it, but otherwise, really nice paint. It's got the stickers applied to it. But otherwise, a nice car. Next up is Ed Roth's Big Daddy's creation, the Red Baron. This, the Beatnik Bandit he did as well for Mattel back in the day, Big Daddy Roth. A lot of times these Red Barons will have the helmets won't be shiny anymore. The chrome is typically gone on these. They fade out like the engines do. In most cases, I should say. Sometimes you'll get lucky and get one with really chromy helmet. So we got a nice brown Lola, right? Or is this a McLaren? I'm sorry. This is a McLaren, right? McLaren M6A. So a nice piece. Grand Prix, very common, but nice color for this casting. Clear up some space here. Let's see what we got next. Next up's a 57 Bird. Nice condition, a little bit of toning on this side. But good paint overall. Not well played with. I mean, when I look at cars in collections and when I'm appraising them, I always take a look at the wheels first. And if they're truly original one-owner collections, you can tell how much a car was played with back in the day by the wheels. Now, sometimes the chrome does get worn off by storage and moving the cases around, rubbing it off over the time, but you can really tell if a car had a lot of play wear by the wheels. And a lot of times when guys try to produce fakes or, try to deceive you when selling your cars, they'll swap the wheels out. But, you know, if the wheels, look, if the curtains, what do they say, the carpet don't match the drapes, it does raise a red flag for me. This is another one, doesn't look like it was run down the track much. You can really tell by the wear on the front headlights, which this does not have, or the back. You know, that tells you it was running into things, other cars stopped on the track. This one doesn't have it, and the wheels are really nice. It just has the toning, the typical toning that you find with certain castings and certain paints that they use, whether it was Hong Kong or US. You know, there's a lot of factors involved when it comes to toning, and a lot of times there's just no rhyme or reason why a car or a color tones. So this is a beautiful whipped creamer, but does have a couple nicks on one side. Beautiful purple, which is my favorite color, red lines, but here you'll see some nicks right there. But otherwise, another car that doesn't look like it was run very much. So it must have just hit something back in the day. And sometimes these cars come off the factory line with some defects as well. So it just is what it is. This is a really nice custom T-Bird. Another car that looks unplayed with. The roof is beautiful. Paint shiny, a little bit of wispy toning. But yeah, you don't see the wear on the front or the back by getting slammed by cars. And the wheels really are nice. And the provenance on this collection really proved to me that this truly was this gentleman's collection as a child, one owner childhood collection, which is what I look for. I really don't buy, you know, collectors' collections. I only buy from people that had these as kids and enjoying them like we all did back in the 60s. Now I remember this one. This one was really beautiful. And a lot of times these enamels were all beat up, but this is just a beautiful example of a white enamel chaparral. Looks like it was played with a little bit. You can see a little bit of nicking on the back, but other than that, that's a beautiful display piece. And there's one more in here that's missing a wing. I think that's in comparable condition as well. So I really have my choice on which one to put the wing on, or I just get another wing, which isn't hard to do. Very common casting, but cool car, one of my favorites. Now, here's the Lola, but not unusual for gold back in the day. Look how darkened the back hatch is compared to the rest of the car. Now that it was probably a beautiful car in the day, but for some reason, the way they sprayed the back and the fronts of these things, You know, the paint they used on the back just toned miserably, but the front is completely different color. But another car that doesn't look like it was run down the track very much either. That would have been an amazing piece if it didn't have all that toning. It really does look unplayed with. Now this is one that was just glowing like nuclear. I call these that glow like this nuclear cars. But this is a sand crab, and this will go in my personal collection. I love the color. You don't see this color very often in this condition. So this will go. It's got painted red taillights. Everything's really nice on this car. This one will go right in my personal collection, which I only keep about 150 cars. The rest of them, I eventually try to get out in the circulation for, you know, the collector world. So here is, it looks like an olive splitting image to me, but I'd have to look at this a little bit further. But nice shape. Cool casting back in the day. One I remember as a child very well. So, nice car. Nice example of a splitting image. Here's a nice rosy custom Mustang with a nice white interior. Just a beautiful example of this casting. Boy, I tell you, swap out a couple wheels and phew, got a really nice piece there. Just some very minor wear on the high points of the rims. But beautiful, beautiful car. There's a nitty gritty kitty, but typical dark toning in the red with the white interior. That would have been an unbelievably amazing piece without the toning, but still a nice piece. Doesn't look like it was run down the track much either. You can tell the front and the back, really no nicks on either. Just toned out from time. You know, when I get collections from all over the United States, I got to tell you, there's a big difference when the collections come in from the drier climates like California, Arizona, as compared to the Northeast and the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic states. This came from the Mid-Atlantic states because of the humidity, and depending on how close you are to water or salt air, I mean, it really does factor into the condition and the paint and how it ages and tones over the years. The cars that come out of California and Arizona and that I've picked up over the years just come out almost like they came off a factory line if they weren't played with and well cared for. The ones on the East Coast and Midwest, if they were stored in an attic where you get the very high temperatures in the summer and very cold in the winter, it does affect the aging process. But here's a really nice green Vicky. Very little play wear, another one. You know, you upgrade the wheels on this for sure, straighten out, but another one that really just very few nicks on the front. That's how you can tell how much it was played with, by how many times it slammed to the back of another car. Little Jackrabbit Special. Very common. I get these in almost every collection. This and the Mongoose and Snake. Whew, I get them. I don't think I got them in this collection from what I remember, but boy, oh boy, I get them almost, probably 90% of the collections I get either the rail dragsters, front engine, or the and/or the funny cars. I get funny cars almost every one. Really nice example of a purple coupe. Beautiful, deep, dark purple paint. Just gorgeous. Couple nicks right on the front, but beautiful display piece. All right, that's two of the trays. Still waiting for the big boy that's in this collection. Don't know where it is. Believe me, the suspense is killing me. It's probably as much as it's killing you. You're probably like, come on, get through these, a lot of these commons. But I don't know. I just enjoy it so much. Finding these things in the wild, it's such a great feeling every time I get one. And it's almost been 30 years I've been doing this with hundreds of collections and tens of thousands of cars. And this collection is just as exciting as the first one was for me way back when. I just enjoy it just as much. So it says a lot about the hobby. The hobby is just fantastic. I think it's the most innovative line of Hot Wheels, I mean of toy diecast cars ever made. The engineers with all the accessories, the tune-up tower, the supercharger. I mean, everything that they made just was jaw-dropping for me as a child of the 60s, you know, and early 70s back in the day. And everything they came out with I just wanted, but unfortunately I grew up in very humble means and didn't have very much back then, but had enough to have fun with. This is an olive King Cuda. Again, not much playwear, but you get that, you know, wispy toning throughout, but really nice display piece. Really nice, but not uncommon. But a nice olive King Cuda. Who can complain, right? Okay, here's another really nice one. Very common, probably the most common color in the 917, but again, unplaned with. Just, you know, about as nice as they get. Look at the wheels. Wheels are big determining factors with original collections, I'm telling you. It's one thing I've learned after all these years. You look at the wheels first before anything. It's a truly original collection that tells you how much it was or wasn't played with. Another car that was probably not played with, but it's missing the top. A beautiful red power pad, but you're missing the cab. But, you know, I know enough people to get a cab for this. Put it on, make a beautiful piece. Any collector would be happy with that car. All right, red twin mill. Now this one's got the toning in it. Some blotchy toning throughout, but another car that, you know, it looks like it was run down. You can see the little wear on the tip that tells you it was slamming into cars in front of it. And the higher elevation cars, like the Customs and everything, you'll see wear on the roof. Like you look at the Barracudas, the Cougars, that'll tell you that it went through the rod runners back in the day, and that caused wear over time. But then when the superchargers came out, you didn't use the rod runners as much. And here's a hot pink AMX2. But again, you've got some wispy toning throughout. But again, doesn't look like it was run down the track at all. That's a nice piece for any collection. All right, there's a nice smooth roof, woody, but it looks like it's been through the rod runner, and I'll show you in a minute. You can tell this was played with a little bit, but not much. But you got a few nicks on the roof, but other than that, it doesn't look like it was run down the track a whole bunch. Swap out a couple wheels and got a beautiful display piece. Here's a really nice example. And I really love this color in the 312P, the Ferrari. I'm a big fan of Ferraris, but man, oh man, is this nice. You really don't have any toning with this. It's just a beautiful, shiny 312P. Beautiful casting. That might go right in my personal collection. That is beautiful. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, he's got them stacked. Let's see. I know there was a Johnny Lightning in here too somewhere. Oh, speak of the devil, missing the canopy. Side pipes are broken off like they normally are in the dragsters and a lot of the other Johnny Lightnings. I like them, but not a big fan. You know, I do get them in collections a fair amount of time. I wouldn't say a lot, but a fair amount of time I do get some examples of Johnny Lightnings. Let's see. What do we got here? We got Brabham Repco. Nice. Aqua. Nice example. This car. Again, doesn't look like it was played with very much. Really nice display piece. I mean, I'm looking at these cars right here, and it's just, I'd say 75% of these cars really weren't run down the track very much at all. Here's a nice example. Boss Hoss club car. Silver Special. As you can see. Really nice example. A couple extra stickers on here, it looks like. But that adds to it. Here's a little bit more personality. All right. Uh-oh. This one's wrapped in white. I don't know what that could mean. Oh, it is. And that's why he wrapped it in white. Should I show this to you guys now, or should I wait till the end? I'll show it to you. You've all been patient. So check this out. Yellow Olds. And the only wispy toning is very wispy, and it's on the roof. Don't know if you'll pick it up here, but just shiny. I mean, this is, I've never had an example this nice. You know, usually you'll get a lot more toning or a darkening hood in yellows, but this is just really blazing. It's a beautiful piece. No wear on the back, no wear on the front. The base is good, and it's got beautiful wheels. So I'll show you this again at the end of the collection. But let's keep moving along, and that is obviously going into my personal collection. So As they say in the hobby, NFS. There's a few in here that are going to be NFS, but I am not a dealer. I do sell to some local gentlemen, not very many, and a good collector, a friend of mine of many decades. I normally sell a lot to, but that's it. That's about as far as I go. Okay, little Lowe's turbine, blue. Again, look at the wheels. Big indicator if it was played with much. And then you look at the front and the back to see if it was rammed in the back or hit in the front. And it'll tell you how much it was run down the track. This doesn't look like it was run down at all, but you do have some toning in it. Okay, we're on the last tray here. So, nice, one of my favorite castings, the Demon in Aqua. Really nice. Same thing, doesn't even look like it was run down the track. Wheels are beautiful. The roof has a very minor issue. But you can see in the painting that Rodney did, I had him put an orange Demon right in the front. It's one of my favorite castings. I know it's common, but you know, that in short order, which is in the painting as well. The purple one here, the Maverick, I love the Python, and then he actually did a hot pink King Cuda coming out of the supercharger. So, Sir Rodney Bathgate is amazing. I mean, in the spirit of Otto Cooney, I mean, that's probably exactly how Otto would have painted me as a, you know, or painted an adult back then if he would have put it on the box art like he did with the kids back in the day. Here's a really nice light green Tri-Baby. Cool casting. It's got some toning on it though. But nice color, very shiny. Again, doesn't look like it was run down the track much. Here's a really nice purple Python. As I always tell you, it's my favorite color. Again, wear from being in the case, I guess. Other than that, nothing on the front or the back, so it doesn't look like it was hit in the front or back. Just a beautiful, beautiful example. You know, roof and everything. So that'll probably end up in my case as well. Because it's purple and it's about as nice as you get. If I have some wheels, I'll upgrade it and just keep it. Another great example of a very cool casting. 4J, one of the originals. Nice wheel upgrade would do wonders for a car like this. Again, not hitting the back or the front. So very light playwear, if any. So, okay, we're down to our last 7 cars. 280 SL, again, just wispy toning. Wheels are great. Base is nice. Front and back don't look like they were hit. And just no nicking, no, a little bit on the passenger side, but other than that, really nice. Really nice collection here. Really happy with this. It's been a while too. I mean, things have slowed down a bit, but I did overhaul the website, and it takes time to catch traction again, I guess, in searches, and that's what happened. But we did an overhaul and put it on a different format. So we got the Torero, another cool casting, very cool car. But again, doesn't look like it was run down the track again, but it's got the dark, typical gold cars like this. The hoods are usually, or the back hatches are really darkened out. Not unusual, see it a lot. Not all the time, but I'd say it's more unusual to get them without the toning of the back hatch, whether it's a Grand Prix or another cars with the hood. Even like I've picked up gold Camaros over the years, and I picked up a really nice one without a black roof, just all gold, and the hood of it was just as shiny as the rest of the car, and that was very, very unusual. But that collection went back probably 25 years from now. It was one of the early collections. I actually wrote about it in my my book, Redline Archaeology, which is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I think they have it on sale right now too. I think there's plenty in stock, but just giving myself a little plug there. Very proud of the book. And if you're a die-hard Redline collector, I think you'll really enjoy the stories. I'm getting ready to write my second one now. So stay tuned. Here is a TNT bird, really nice aqua, nice white interior. Everything's in really nice shape with this. This could use a little bit of a wheel upgrade on just the one wheel, but the wheels are really nice. Front and back are good. Like I said, that really tells you if a car's been played with or not. In my world, anyway. Remember, my opinions are my opinions, and they're only from almost 30 years of doing this, and then, you know, being a kid as a collector and being around these things, you know, it's just, you know, for me, what I think is rare and what shows up in collections is probably different than what a lot of longtime collectors have found, but it's just my experience. And when I write about them on my blogs, on my website, and I talk about things like that, the rarest cars to find in collections. It's just a different approach that I use. Like I said, I don't buy from collectors. I only buy from people that, you know, had these as kids and just looking to sell them and make some money. Here's another beautiful example. Just could use a few wheel upgrade, but again, it doesn't even look like it was run down the track. Look at the front, bumped into anything. You got some wispy toning on the hood, but other than that, that's a really nice piece. And orange is next to purple. I just love that color. All right, last one. So, beautiful silhouette. Again, doesn't look like it was run down the track. Just straighten the wheels up. I don't see any nicks or anything on it. No scratches in the bubble, which is unusual. Just another shiny, beautiful green. He must have liked green because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6 greens in here. Some aquas. You know, every kid has liked different stuff growing up. For me, it was purple and oranges, and that's what I always went for. And if I couldn't get the purples, I went for the blues. I remember this as a kid. If I couldn't get the oranges, you know, anything else that was available. But, you know, purple, orange, and blue for me were my favorites. And, you know, there's a few of them in here. But like I always say, oranges are very difficult to come by. And, you know, a collection of, you know, almost 40 cars, you only got one out of that. And the purples, there's only, 4 in there. But, you know, they were much more mass-produced, the purples, I think, than the oranges. But some collectors may disagree with me, and that's okay. That's okay. So here's the collection. Just so you can see the whole thing. Show you the olds again. I'm sure everyone wants to spend more time seeing the olds. The front. Just the nicest example yellow olds I've ever come across. I mean, to have that little bit of wispy toning on the roof, it's unusual. It's just unusual, and a really nice base as well. But there she is. That's going right in my case. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the first attempt at unveiling a collection that I find in the wild, a one-owner original collection out of Arlington, Virginia, right outside our nation's capital. I've got another one that I'm appraising right now, which if I come to an agreement with the seller, then I will do the same thing here. I'll just keep posting the new collections as I come across them. Like I said, I eventually will get these out into circulation for other collectors to enjoy. I don't do it right away. I don't have a website that sells cars. So, you know, you can ask me. I am much more open to trades than I am selling. If you have one-for-one trades, equal value, I'll do that on cars. This came with a bunch of buttons too, and I know there's an olds button in here too, the metal one. But I'll sort through these later. I mean, buttons are a dime a dozen, but they're nice to have. Very cool to put with the cars. Here's the olds 442 button. That's the most valuable, obviously, in the group. Really nice shape too. So that will also go into my case. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to like this video, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Redline Archaeology YouTube channel. Really appreciate it. I'm trying to post as many videos as possible, typically one every week or two, or more, depending on if I'm scoring collections or I got something interesting to talk about. You can email me through my website, and if you got some ideas for any videos you'd like me to make, if you'd like a tour of my entire collection, I'd be more than happy to do that for you. But just shoot me an email or message me on Facebook. I hope you enjoyed this. Listen, happy hunting. Remember, it's not all about the hunt, it's about the capture as well. And as you can see, the hunt paid off with this really nice capture of an original one owner childhood collection. I mean, this just makes my whole week to get a collection like this and eventually get this out into circulation with other collectors so they can enjoy these cars, you know, at a very affordable rate. Okay, you guys have a great 4th of July and happy collecting, and take care, everyone. It's Bob Young signing off.